Welcome to this episode of Q&A with Liturgy Man. I'm Taylor Burton-Edwards, Liturgy Man, your Director of Worship Resources with Discipleship Ministries of the United Methodist Church.
And I'm Victoria Rebeck. I'm Director of Deacon Ministry Development for the United Methodist Board of Higher Education and Ministry.
We're in part 2 of our 3-part series on the role and work of deacons in worship in the United Methodist Church. In part 1, we discussed kind of the general work of the deacon throughout a standard service of word and table. Today, we're going to look at the specific role of the deacon in assisting at the Lord's table. And as we do this, I want to begin by saying that we need to get out of our heads any idea that this is some sort of hierarchical move in which we're saying elders are more important than deacons or anything like that. That's not the idea at all. Rather, the idea of the work of assisting is that assisting is one of the key roles that needs to happen for the Great Thanksgiving to go well, just as leading the prayer that the work of the presider does is also important for the work of the Great Thanksgiving to go well. Remember, it's the prayer of the entire congregation, led by its authorized presider, and wherever possible, assisted by the deacon. Victoria.
Indeed, it's the historic role, one of the historic roles of the deacon in worship to assist. So therefore, elders and local pastors, if you are in a situation where you're presiding and there's a deacon present, be sure to include that person. And in fact, I would say if you have a deacon who is appointed to your church and usually they're doing something else during worship, find a way to make sure they're included in worship leadership and most certainly in assisting at the table. So what does it mean to assist at the table? There are some specific and historical acts that the deacon does as part of that. And fortunately, that is listed in our wonderful resource, This Holy Mystery, which is our official United Methodist resource on the theology and practice of Holy Communion. And page 45 spells out the roles of the deacon. And these include receiving the elements and setting the table. It can also include holding up the worship book for the elder or the pastor to make it easier for them both to see, and also they have things they have to be doing with their hands, and so their hands are free as well. One of the things, of course, they do with their hands is the epiclesis, the calling down of the Holy Spirit, and it's after that it's also appropriate for the deacon to lead the congregation in bidding prayers, and prayers for the church and for the world. Also, the deacon prepares lay people for assisting roles. And an important assisting role actually is also bringing the elements to people who were not able to attend with the faith community when they were observing communion. And I believe it's Word in Table 5, there is a specific description of the part of the order of worship that the person who's bringing the elements to the homebound person, the person who couldn't be there, the parts that they would lead in that process. I might add that deacons at times, by discipline, might preside. And by discipline, the deacon might preside in those situations where, as it says, it's contextually appropriate and duly authorized by a bishop. So deacons, if you feel that it is contextually appropriate for you to preside at table, have a conversation with your bishop about that, because it is your bishop who can authorize you to do that. So the point is, it's important, both of these roles in the Eucharist, the elder and the deacon, to be leading together in their specific roles. They're both clergy orders, and we really are a partnership in our ministries.
And I just want to thank Victoria, because we have been really good partners, I think, in ministry at the general agencies for some time now. And if this series does anything else, perhaps it models partnership between deacons and elders that might become catching and catch on where you are.
Hope so.
Hope this has been helpful. Remember, you can always contact me at worship@umcdiscipleship.org or through our UMC Worship Facebook group.
You can reach me at deacons@gbhem.org, or if you're a deacon or becoming a deacon, you can find us at the UMC Deacons Facebook page.
Or drop a line on this page, and perhaps your question or comment will become the basis for a future episode of Q&A with Liturgy Man. May the peace of Christ be always with you.